Jay, is that you?
No, my love. It's Nancy. The second wife?
Just a dream of long ago.
A good dream.
Oh, still lining up for autographed copies, are they?
As ever. Millions sold, millions to go, I'm sure. But this one is for Reverend Collier. He says his copy's worn out.
Well, he'll be preaching at my funeral. It's the least I can do. Thank you, Jeremiah. The dream must have been after the success of the book. But before the time of the Jerome clock catastrophe. The humiliation.
Barnum's finished. Read all about it. Get your Harold. Barnum's fallen. Read all about it.
See? He's broken. So where did you get the idea that his ink on a worthless book would make it valuable?
Chapter 7, never confuse today with tomorrow. The day will come when his name on my book will fetch a pretty penny or two. I just hope we get a seat.
Get your Harold. Read all about it.
Paper?
Harold, get your Harold here.
All of the profits of all his Fiji Mermaid, Joyce Hef, Tom Thumb, and monsters of all kinds, including the reported $70,000 received by the copyright of that book, have all been swept away, taken by holders of notes, signed by Barnum on behalf of his Jerome Clock partners who promised to build their factory in his model city.
Do you recognize this instrument?
Yes, it's another of the $1,000 promissory notes I signed in connection with the Jerome Clock Company's move to Bridgeport.
And you intend to make good on this note and the thousands of others?
If I were able.
You were able enough when you signed them.
As I said, I believe the bank guaranteeing my partners was solvent. I had no idea the bank was near ruin and was conspiring with Jerome to steal my money.
No. I suppose you were just after a good deal. On the cheap.
Speaking of cheap, I see your client paid $700 for this. An optimistic man, no doubt.
So, Barnum, what now? Have you a trade, or do you simply laze about?
I attend bar.
You have the audacity to claim that you peddle rum all day and touch not a drop yourself.
I attend bar, but never drink intoxicating liquors.
And where do you attend this bar, and for whom?
I attend the bar of this court nearly every day for the benefit of two-penny would-be lawyers and their greedy clients. Listen to me, little man. I will repay my debts, every penny. No one will ever be the poorer for knowing Phineas Taylor Barnum. But the longer you keep me here, the longer it will take me to satisfy your client. Though the delay no doubt fattens your bill of account.
One moment. Sir?
Good day, Gannon.
And to you, Phineas.
Am I in trouble with you as well, John?
I'm not one of the vultures, Phineas. They forget that we all owe you something. But if you're ever to cut a figure in society again...
Thank you, daughter. And to you, David.
I serve as best I can, Father Bob.
What's that, Daddy?
A gift from an old friend.
And there's precious few of those nowadays, I suppose.
I may be in disgrace, but at least I'm there in the latest fashion.
Barnum found the freak show man and took them off the shelf. Then one day his desk caught up and made him want himself. Barnum found the freak show man and took them off the shelf. Then one day his desk caught up and made him want himself. Barnum found the freak show man and took them off the shelf.
And how are we, my dear?
Better, I'm sure.
I'm not. Mother needs fresh air and quiet, neither of which are readily available here.
Our location, no doubt, will have to change before long. Local rascals give us no peace. The popular press fans the flames.
Can't you stop them? I thought they were your friends. They once did whatever you asked. Anything.
When I was wealthy. Now they preach to me. They preach about me. They use me for whatever story a sensation-loving world demands.
A world you created, Father Barnum.
Well, what would you have me do?
Caroline and I would have you move Mother Barnum and the family to our house in Connecticut.
What? I beg your pardon?
Daddy, don't have apoplexy. Be reasonable. You said yourself that you can't stay here much longer. And Mummy needs a proper home. There's plenty of room.
Yes, I know how wealthy David and his family are. Your mother and I are still young. We've stood on our own 2 feet from the beginning. We're not moving in with the children quite yet. Thank you very much. Right, my love?
I'm almost 50, Phineas.
Exactly, and I'm 2 years younger. We built an empire before. We can do it again.
That empire you built kept us separated for years while you traveled the world.
Perhaps it's time you reined your expansiveness in and approached middle age with a little more, if I may say, sir, more grace.
No, sir, you may not. I have no intention of growing old just yet, gracefully or otherwise. I've always provided for my family, and I always will.
By traveling, my Finn.
Cherry, my Cherry, a man must earn his bread.
With all due respect, Father Barnum, our offer of a roof over your head is in no way an insult to your place in the family, merely a recognition that your role must change.
Damn me, sir. I am not ready to enjoy a second childhood at your table. And surely, my love, you would not ask that of me.
No, my Finn. I could never ask that. Whether Mummy asks you or not, Daddy. Where will you go? Where can you turn?
You see, my love, you're Phineas, in the latest fashion. Down, but never out. I must go and attend to family business. I go with your blessing.
Nunc ut nunc quam.
Now or never.
Gentlemen, are you ready for the luncheon speaker?
Does he know he's on a fool's errand?
Oh, Barnum knows that we bought most of the Jerome clock notes.
And paid a pretty penny.
Put him in the palm of our hands. He may have the stomach for one last try at cornering the pocket money of the working classes, but he'll need us to do so. If we handle this cleverly, we'll be rid of him within a year.
Mr. Barnum, if you'd like to come in.
Thank you for sparing me some of your precious time, gentlemen. Excuse me. It's been a long time since I've seen or heard from certain old friends.
Pleasure's all ours, Barnum.
I dare say. Gentlemen, you represent the bulk of my creditors. I need to make an arrangement if I'm to recover. I expect that if those of you here approve of such a thing, the rest will follow.
What do you have in mind?
I propose, sir, to repay all my debts, 100 cents on the dollar, complete restitution within 5 years. But you must remove the yoke of bankruptcy from around my neck. Allow me to work again, so debts can be repaid.
Repay all your debts? Easy promise. But how?
In the show business.
Oh, Phineas, do you really think that's possible? You've lost so much of the public's trust.
But none of their love. They understand the world I see. A place where they're allowed to enjoy themselves, to buy their own entertainment, and not rely on the charity of their employers. Now, where once you dismissed them as people aspiring above their station, I've shown you that there's wealth in that game. If you treat people like equals, they'll spend like equals. That's the way America's moving. Now, you know I'm right. Otherwise, you wouldn't have me here.
So say we allow you to start business. What else do you want?
To move my family back to Iranistan.
Damn me, man. That's the last good asset left.
Yes, but it stands empty and it's going to seed. Now, over the 5 years of the promise, I'll use some of my bankrupt's allowance to restore the damage done and maintain it. And if I fail to keep my word, you'll take it back in rebuilt condition.
And what about capital?
Well, I won't need much. Tom Thumb, the pygmy prodigy himself, has rallied to my aid and assured me he's ready to tour again, so I can generate income almost immediately as I'm allowed to return to business.
Gentlemen? All right, Barnum. However, I intend to add the cost of today's lunch to your list of debts. Seems only fair.
And that, sir, would be my pleasure. Gentlemen.
Phineas. I am not proud of having been part of what was just done to you.
Oh, Moses.
But you know how it is, old man. I, too, have to make a living. I was always there for you before. And you know I will be again.
Without printer's ink, I should have been no bigger than Tom Thumb. The dome need only be repaired for now. Later, I went blue glass instead of frosted panes. First priority are rooms Mrs. Barnum uses. I want them ready for her by the 19th of this month. The whole job done in 12 months.
The 19th, is it? And a year for the rest of it.
Yes.
That can be done.
Good. Oh, no liquor or tobacco in this house, sir. We've taken the pledge.
Checkmate. Oh!
No moaning, groaning, or foaming, young lady. That was a good move by your sister. A valid victory. The foreman promises he'll have Mother's rooms finished by the 19th.
And you chose the 19th because you're leaving again, correct?
Someone has to pay the bills, Carrie.
You're not alone in the world.
Princess, I appreciate the offer you and David made, but I'm not ready to play the pauper in my daughter's house. Enjoy our recent good fortune. Your mother is back in her own home.
Very expensive proposition.
Chicken feed compared to my debts.
You can remain in bankruptcy.
Is that what you wish for me? To spend the rest of my life slinking about, an outcast in the community, a laughing stock in the world of men?
Where to?
Europe. Tom Thumb's coming with me. It's good of the little knight to come to my rescue. I'm also taking Cornelia Howard's Uncle Tom's Cabin, and I'll look for attractions to bring back.
That's a great deal of work.
It's a great deal of debt.
You do as you must. I'll take care of Mummy. But promise, Daddy, once the debt is paid, you'll stay home.
My solemn oath. Besides, soon I'll have another grandchild to play with. And this one will be the apple of my eye. But now, I must explain to Mummy. My dearest and sweet Charity, the pain of our forced separation is softened only by the unbelievable success of the tour. This month alone, I have sent Olmsted fully 30% of what I owe, and in less than 3 months. I am sustained only by the thought of you in Iranistan, embraced by the comfort of our own home. But now, my dearest, I must sleep. The days are so very long.
Keep your strength, Phineas. By the time you return, the work will be done, and perhaps, as you believe and promise, we will resume a normal life. As if life with Phineas Taylor Barnum could ever be truly normal.
As usual, the French can't get enough of Tom. Even Uncle Tom's Cabin is drawing huge crowds. I think the French secretly enjoy our pain at what our Southerners do.
We acknowledge with some surprise your latest remittance. It appears your entire debt will be retired by the new year. Indeed, there's some interest amongst our group as to what business you will then pursue, as no doubt you will need capital.
Your grandchild is exceptional. They intend to name her Frances in memory of our own poor lost baby. I know this will comfort you as much as it does me.
At last, my sweet, the debts are paid. The success in Berlin is assured that. The tour will end in 4 weeks, and I shall be home again. Then we will decide upon our whims for the future.
Merry Christmas, Mother Barnum.
Thank you, and to you.
Thank you.
Come, join us.
Come on, boys. Christmas cheer. Let's go.
Happy Christmas, one.
Merry Christmas.
Dear Phineas, I write with the saddest of news.
Sam. Hello, sweet. Thank you, Mrs. Thompson, for greeting me personally.
Take it as a measure of how happy I am to have you in my home, and as a display of my confidence and support.
Not to be a cakewalk, then, is it?
Whatever walk it is, we know how it ends.
You're barely 18.
And in 12 months, they'll call me the spinster of Bridgeport. Besides, I love this man.
And I love her, Mr. Barnum. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant, sir.
Barnum will do. Truth is, Sam, I quite like you. You look a man in the eye and speak the truth. And you've made a living at a risky trade, and the whole world knows I admire that.
Importing from California isn't the risk it once was. Except for the Apache Nation.
Wrong
it's
road,
actually...
Sam. The riskier you make it sound, the better he'll love you. Remember, he eloped.
I dote on my daughter, Samuel. And this one is the most plain-spoken. For that, she holds a special place in my heart. Do we entrust our daughter to Mr. Hurd, Cherry?
We could hardly do better.
Truth is, I'm grateful you even bothered to consult me. I am in reduced straits, as you see, a lodger with my eldest daughter.
You are a hero to me, sir. Whatever your circumstances, I would need your blessing. As a matter of honor, Mr. Barnum.
Never mind the mister. Father Barnum will do quite nicely.
Brilliant, Daddy.
Thank you, sir.
Though I fear the reception will be small.
Daddy, you must have the reception here in the house. Come, let's explore the possibilities.
Congratulations.
And to you. So I saw the letter on our bureau.
The proposed lecture tour.
In good conscience, I can't keep you here, a guest in your daughter's house. As long as I've known you, the one thing you've craved is the money to be free. If it was simple greed, I couldn't have loved you. But with you, it's something else. I know that.
And in good conscience, I could not leave you again. I intend to turn it down.
Go on your tour, Finn. Do whatever you must to bring some joy back into your life. Because neither of us can go on living like this. To quote the great T Barnum, a man must earn his bread.
And so, my friends, as I conclude, you no doubt begin to see why, when I began this evening, I hinted that perhaps my lecture is misnamed. One might as easily say that my life is a history of money losing. But one must take risks if one wishes to be a capital maker. I have gambled and lost. But I have gambled and won. The rule of the man who would acquire capital is always make sure you win one more time than you lose. People must be free to dare, to risk, to strive if a nation is to be great. My wealth was made possible by my freedom. The first charge of all who would govern should be to guarantee that freedom or all is lost. And that is our American way. And now, my friends, I bid you goodbye. Tomorrow I return home after too long an absence. May God go with you. Until we meet again.
Yes? I know the great man is busy, but I couldn't let this opportunity pass. He changed my life with his book.
I'm sure he'd be proud to know that, sir. Perhaps if you could leave your card.
Are you in the habit of invading gentlemen's dressing rooms, young lady?
My name is Nancy, and if it pleases my father, yes, sir, he would like your inscription.
Phineas Barnum, I was convinced by your calling card.
My Nancy is a wonderful daughter, Mr. Barnum. She knows how much I want your inscription in my book. John Fish is the name, sir. I was a common laborer whose only advantage was an ability to read. Your book fell in my hands. I believed your message. I followed your advice.
Well done. And today?
Today, sir, I own and operate cotton mills with over 1,000 looms.
And he says he owes it all to you.
To an enterprising Englishman, and his even more clever calling card. Truly yours, Phineas T. Barnum. There.
Oh, my most treasured possession.
Except for me, of course.
Oh, of course. That is merely a pamphlet on how to be self-helpful. You, on the other hand, are a gem.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This way, please.
Ah, Greenwood, my old friend.
Yes, good of you to see me.
Oh, can't think of anything I'd rather do. Besides, arranging these tours is a deadly dull business, Greenwood. I envy you, my friend. I'm in the show business that has to seek out its customers. You're clever enough to arrange it so they come to you.
Well, I know that's the theory, but I'm having trouble with the proof, I'm afraid.
Jeremiah, do not get into heaven by rushing. Lord, man, what on earth?
My master, where is he?
In the front study, Mr. Greenwood's calling. Jeremiah, what is it?
Mary, it's so sad. So sudden. Poor Miss Caroline.
And that all that was good and beautiful and true in their beloved ones still lives and will forever live in thy glorious presence. Rest in peace, Franklin. Amen.
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 harder task on God's earth than to bury one's own child, especially one barely out of the womb.
I remember. Our Francis. But God's will. For now, we must live on.
I've been thinking of staying with Caroline for a time, while she's in mourning.
I'll miss you at home.
Surely you'll be back on tour soon enough.
I think not. Jerry, I've been chasing money for debts for so long, I've forgotten that money is a liberator, not a master.
No wonder you've fallen on hard times, Greenwood. Most of these attractions were here when I left.
People always loved what you gave them.
Because I always offered what they wanted before they knew they wanted it.
You make an impossible trick sound easy.
Not really, old man. In my import-export business, it takes 6 to 8 weeks to move things from California to the east, only slightly more to go the other way. So I have to keep at least 3 months ahead of demand.
Exactly why I asked Sam to join us. He understands how railways are shrinking the world.
And with trade fairs and steamship passage going down, ordinary people are becoming downright fascinated by what lies over the horizon.
I suppose I've outlived my usefulness.
Don't be daft, man. I asked Sam to join us as treasurer of the organization. But this museum has never had but one manager, you. Now, there are 2 issues. First, to excite the people with the knowledge that I'm back. Phineas T. Barnum again stands astride New York.
Yes, sir.
But this time, I'm the attraction. Can you manage it?
You just watch me. You'll never see a better build-up.
Good. Now to the future. Animals. People have had enough of the eerie sideshow curiosity that might live next door.
Sam's right. These days, they're fascinated by what lies over the horizon. And Sam here knows the world across the Mississippi.
There's already menageries touring the frontier. Missouri, Illinois. But they're more comic than instructive. Except for Grizzly Adams. Now, he's the best. But wild beasts in a big city.
Find me the beasts. I'll handle the city.
Thank you.
I'll take one of those.
Dad, let's go look. Thank you. I'd like one of those, thank you.
Relax, Father. It will go brilliantly.
It had better. It must.
It's not the end of the world, whatever happens.
It is to me and to Mother Barnum. We hope to remain in the same city from now on, under our own roof, not yours.
They'll love you.
You think so? I've been gone for so long. And all the awful stories.
People ignored them. They'll always love you. That's why the house is packed.
Unless, of course, they've come to see another curiosity. It's a full house, Petey.
Really? Then why can't I hear them?
Well, perhaps they're a subdued crowd.
And now, people of New York, to tell you of his plans for the future of this museum, his schemes for your amusement and enlightenment, and his ideas for the new age, Phineas Taylor Barnum!
It's him, all right. Our Phineas is back.
So, once the bearded lady and other curiosities have moved to the back of the second floor, the tiger and lion cages will go downstairs in the arcade area. Now, the theater is where we put Grizzly Adams himself.
With the bear?
Yeah.
With no barrier between them and the customers?
No need. The bear's declawed, defanged, and probably demented, he's so old.
Let's keep that as our little secret. If the bear is on the stage, I want bars in front of it. Too many folk won't pay for what doesn't scare them. The Indian fighters?
Where the Egyptian room is now. Have I missed something?
Oh, it's a good plan, as far as it goes. A good plan, given its basic assumptions.
I'm not sure I follow, sir.
Well, you assume that we have to display Grizzly Adams here in this building.
Isn't that what the people will expect?
Precisely. And we must never meet their expectations. Everything should be a surprise, a memorable event. We have to create a sense of urgency. Adams needs temporary quarters. It will bring the crowds in early. Canvas.
But, P.T., that's like a small-town country show. City folk won't go for a tent.
They will if it's big enough. Greenwood announced to the press, an acre of canvas is going up on the 2nd Avenue above the 9th Street. A measured acre. And since this event is the first pageant of my return, and every event needs a memorable opening, this will have one New York has never before seen. Right on the 2nd Avenue. Grizzly Adams, the magnificent mountain man of the Wild West, who will tame ferocious carnivores before your very eyes.
All flabbiness and stretch marks. What man will want to take a second look at a puffy, misshapen woman?
Why, Mr. Hurd?
Of course, I know that. But what about fun? Lace me up. Tighter.
We give thanks, O Lord, for our daily bread, and for the bounteous share you heap upon our table. We beg your blessing upon our heads and upon our union and republic. Amen.
Amen.
You find fault with my grace, David?
No, sir. But I'm sure that tonight in the Carolinas, there are families beseeching God to help them in this crisis. I suppose that it's the same God, and I wonder whose side he's on.
With the Union, of course. I'm certain God would have no part of slavery.
Well, it didn't seem to trouble him in biblical times, unless I read my good book incorrectly.
The Bible records the beginning of his revelations to man. We're supposed to have learned since then, to have progressed.
Ah, yes. Progress, your favorite theme. But tradition also has value. It seems to me...
I can guess what it seems to you.
Please, gentlemen, leave matters of politics and religion until the ladies have withdrawn.
Can I talk business?
Can I stop you?
Caroline, you must bring young Francis to see our newest sensation, George Washington Morrison McNutt. I call him Commodore Nutt. 2 inches shorter than Tom and almost the same age. The crowds are enormous. The money just rolls in.
Father, the way you inveigle children in your schemes.
Children are the best audience and the finest advertisers.
Besides, it's educational. Helps them learn.
And children are the union's future.
Children, children, children. Now you're turning them into political talk of the Union.
My Helen has been a little sharper than usual since, well, in her delicate condition.
You speak to me as if I were a child myself. My condition is anything but delicate. I am pregnant, and it's a miserable state of daily sickness.
Also a subject best saved for the withdrawing room. Phineas, do continue.
You tell them, Sam.
Well, you all must have heard of the new fiction by this man, Herman Melville. It's a new rage all over.
Moby Dick, the White Whale. I read it. I borrowed your copy.
You did?
Yes, and I liked it.
Good for you. Anyway, PT has, well, Father Barnum has hired 24 whalers from French Canada. They'll find our whales.
And if the rumor of the lady midget is true, think of what an attraction that will be. They have fired on Fort Sumter. We're at war.
Well, not necessarily. If we merely
Shut up, sir! I've no more stomach for you or your copperhead sympathies. They have fired upon Union troops, which is rebellion. Now, this family and everyone connected with it are loyal Unionists. And that damn well better include you.
Daddy, you cursed.
Hopefully a swift Union victory will save my family and millions of others, no doubt, from lasting damage. To hasten that end, I intend to personally equip a unit of Connecticut infantry to join McClellan's Army of the Potomac.
Bravo. Well done, Barnum. Let it be said that when it came time to man the barricades, you were there.
I will also offer soldiers special admission prizes. And I intend to form a prudential committee in Bridgeport, a group of like-minded citizens who will monitor events and protect against enemy attempts at sabotage. I hope you gentlemen will join me in my effort.
We've been adversaries. I suppose we can be loyal patriots now.
The United States, the great republic, allowed us all, through our own hard work and wit, to become wealthy. Now, we must stand by her as she stands at a historic
crossroads. One way leads to a bright future. The other road is a dark bargain with traitors and human flesh. A single land whose two parts are forever at war.
And to those who go from here to do battle for these ideas as the war enters its second year, we say, hurrah! Hurrah! Gentlemen in uniform, please stand. We wish you Godspeed. Future generations of free Americans will cherish your memory for all time. Hurrah! Hurrah! They'll soon be done singing and they'll want the whales. It's a big crowd, but with free admission for the soldiers.
Yeah,
I'm thinking we should let wives in free as well. Not camp followers, mind you. Only married ladies.
Yes, but PT.
What, PT? What, Greenwood? What is it? What whales are dead? Dead?
Very dead, sir.
Impossible. We took every precaution.
Well, it seems our veterinary experts from the university were wrong. Although they're mammals, they can't survive in fresh water.
What is education in this country coming to? 1 minute whales, the next blubber and lamp oil. How do we get water from wine on this one? Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Today's heavy rain appears to have affected the aquarium condition of our whales. But the Great American Museum will give each and every one of you a check, which you may cash for admission on another day. Mr. Greenwood here will arrange for your rain checks.
Rain checks, sir.
Why not? Sounds grand. Makes them feel grand. It's very democratic.
Sam. Hello. Everything all right in your own office? Rarely see you here in daytime, Mr. Treasurer.
Just tying up odds and ends. There's a check here to a John Fish, for example.
Ah, Mr. Fish, a fine and enterprising Englishman. He and his young daughter visited backstage in Manchester. We correspond. He's looking into that 8-foot giant in Paris that we were thinking of engaging. The check is merely expenses. My goodness, man. What on earth is wrong?
Oh, it's Helen.
What's happened?
She's with child again.
Well done, old man.
Well.
Is she ailing?
No. No more than last time. But it's the same. I swear, Father Barnum, and no disrespect to your daughter, whom I love dearly, but she hardly seems to enjoy the marriage.
Oh, come now, Herd. What on earth could you possibly mean?
Oh. Nothing. Nothing.
There, you see? It's the war, old man. Everyone is in a dither after 3 years of battles and casualty lists. Once the fighting is done, everyone will be in a happy mood. It'll be as it was before, only better. So, my dear, how is David?
He's well. The business is good. I'm a perfect hostess, as he would tell you himself. If he could spend 5 minutes without you attacking him.
I'm sorry. I hold my views with great passion.
As he holds his.
Well, he's wrong. Ah, well, there's this little matter at Gettysburg. I expect that will bring a quick end to the war, and then I will welcome him back to my table without a further word.
You probably think that's all it takes. Well, David isn't a customer you can decide to sell your wares to one day and then withhold them the next. It happens I think he's woefully wrong in this war, and I cry over it, but he's my husband. And I deserve respect, even if you think he doesn't. Come, Francis. We'll have sweet at home. Daddy bought barley sugar.
Well, this is a poor time to raise it, Daddy, but I have made a decision about my life.
Excellent. That's what we pay that exclusive finishing school to do, to help you form a grown-up's mind. And to what decision have you come?
I'm going into the show business. I shall become a singer. Well, I am a singer. Why not the show business? It's been good enough for you.
But I didn't go to the best schools. It's a ridiculous idea. Besides, you're 18. You're likely to be married within a year.
Don't wager on it.
Now, you come back here, young lady. Will someone, please?
What did you expect? Pushing us off to marry the first chance we get.
I argued with you. You insisted. You said your mother and I eloped.
You should have insisted I wait. You should have known better. My life ended before it even began.
Helen.
Take me home.
Sorry, P.T. Mother.
To be expected, Finn. You spent so many years away, you never really saw them grow up. You still think of them as uncomplicated children. But unfortunately, they're very complicated women. And while you believe in a new age, while you preach a democracy where everyone can be his best, you don't mean to include your own daughters. You want to run your own family like a biblical patriarch. Perhaps that's why you never speak of a world where anyone can do her best.
Hartford addressing the state legislature. I can't reach him till evening. He'll approve the expense and we can start on it first thing in the morning. Yes, sir. Thank you.
With the war behind us, we are compelled to build a just and fair community. And the Railroad Trust are determined to stop that. These few men whose rights of way have been granted by the people's government now propose to gouge those same people with fixed prices. Monopoly is the enemy of democracy. It is the assassin of liberty. Business and finance must serve, not enslave.
Well, did he enjoy his obituary?
As much as he could concentrate on.
Jeremiah, I have that old clipping you requested.
Thank you, sir. That will complete my scrapbook.
Which article is that, John?
It's the New York Tribune editorial the morning after the 65 fire.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'll leave this for you in the study.
Very well, sir.
We mourn our loss, but we are not without consolation. Barnum's museum is gone, but Barnum happily did not share its fate. There are fishes in the sea, beasts in the forest, the birds still fly, and strange creatures still roam the deserts. Giants and pygmies still wander the earth. The oldest man, the fattest woman, and the smallest baby are all still living, and Barnum will find them. He entertains us, yes, but he also makes us wiser and our lives a little richer. Imagine that. From the Tribune itself, there wasn't a soul in New York, in America, that wasn't on our side.
Look at that one.
No?
I would love something like that.
Well done, Sam. Each year you improve on the show. You do our country's birthday proud.
Thank you, P.T.
I'm sure Sam is more concerned with your birthday, Father. You rank higher in his estimation than America.
Your father's birthday is tomorrow, Helen, as you well know.
Just a family joke. We're all good patriots here.
Of course. Same in our family.
Phineas, I think it's time John and Nancy join our other guests.
Caroline, why don't you show our guest to the party? Dr. Buckle and I will be with you presently.
I am concerned for Mother. And since Samuel and I first discovered Dr. Buckle, I think I should be here.
My daughter says her research confirms your reputation as the finest doctor in the country.
Oh, she's overgenerous. Just an Ohio physician. But during the war, I became well acquainted with head wounds.
My wife's condition is a form of neuralgia. All her physicians agree on that.
No doubt. But every day we learn more and more how the brain and nervous system intertwine. When you first began falling, Mrs. Barnum, was it because you lost your sense of balance or strength?
Strength. It was as if my legs fell out from under me. But then they went numb. It was about that time that my vision began to blur.
Could you rest on your side, please? I'm going to use this pin to test your sense of feeling in the lower back. Let me know if it hurts. You feel nothing.
No. Just the pressure.
The examination is now more intimate. Perhaps.
Good evening. Hello.
He never did like me. He's actually Pauline's animal.
Your daughter?
My youngest. Only 4 years older than you.
You hardly look old enough for a child my age.
Oh, you flatter me.
Not at all. You underestimate your vigor, Mr. Barnum.
Oh, please. Phineas.
If I remember, Pauline is a concert singer.
Was. She's actually quite skilled. But when she turned 21, she had a serious attack of spinsterhood dread. She married well. She and her husband will be here for tomorrow's birthday party.
She married Nathan Seeley, the stockbroker, I believe.
My goodness. How would you know that?
There's nothing about you, Phineas, that doesn't interest me. I know in my most secret heart that you saved my father from a dreadful life. When I first met you backstage in Manchester, I was only 11, but I saw then why you were an inspiration to millions. I was honored to meet you then. I'm more honored to know you now.
Your interest is a very special gift to me, Miss Fish.
Please, Nancy.
I hope to learn more about myself when it might be convenient to you. Oh, but now I see Helen's doctor friend has rejoined us. Nancy. Ah, good doctor. So, what's your sense of it all?
Perhaps there is a better place.
Yes, of course. Let's go inside. Fetch your sister to the library. Immediately, if you don't mind.
Helen says you have ideas about Mother.
Yes, apparently. Floor is yours, Doctor.
I believe, sir, that Mrs. Barnum suffers from what most physicians call wasting maladies they blame on internal problems. I suspect that the origins aren't in Madam's bowels or organs. I believe that this has something to do with what we're just beginning to think of as possible. A breakdown in the brain's ability to communicate correctly with the nerves and muscles and sinews.
Truly? Then you think the drafts and tonics aren't helping?
Aside from peace of mind, no.
Excellent. Then what do we do? How do we treat for your diagnosis?
As I said, we're just beginning to understand this.
How long?
One can only guess. Based on her rate of decline, a few years, perhaps as many as 5.
What kind of years?
Her faculties will continue to deteriorate. In a year or two, she might hardly know you.
Well, thank you for adding your opinion to those of our other physicians, Dr. Buchtel. I'm grateful. I trust you'll state your fee to my office in the coming week.
Oh, a statement would be inappropriate, sir. I would prefer to think of this as a friendly gesture.
Oh, the idea that you're my friend and would never act in an unfriendly fashion is of great comfort to me, Doctor. I would value that relationship with you.
Ever at your service, sir.
Don't take it so hard, Dad.
No, I'm prepared for this. It's why I retired. It's why I shall stay retired.
Sometimes I worry it's boring you to death. If you wanted to get back
No,
and
it's
visit...
not about want. I have duties.
But if we handle it together... You know you can depend on me.
Yes, I know, my Caroline. You're always steady, my rock. But Charity is my wife, and you have a husband. I'll be fine. I need just a moment. And Caroline, tell your sister that if she runs off with that doctor, I will hound her and Buchtel to their graves. Please tell her that for me.
Mr. Hurd and two gentlemen he said he discussed with you, sir.
Jeremiah, one moment. All right.
Mr. Hurd, Messrs. Costello and Coop.
And, sir, gentlemen, be with you in a moment. Must finish this thought for my new autobiography. Jeremiah will see to your needs. No alcohol, mind you?
Sir.
PT. This is William Coop and Dan Costello.
An honor to meet a legend.
Oh, the honor is mine. All colleagues in the show business, after all.
Buongiorno.
Please, sit.
Thank you.
When Sam asked me to see you, I said, but I'm a retired man. Isn't that so, Sam?
Exactly what you said.
But not so retired you cannot find the time to hear a proposition.
Always have time for that.
Well, Dan and I have some animals, an acrobat and a few other acts. We run the show on wagons from Philadelphia up to Ohio, down to St. Louis, and then Chicago.
So what's the proposition?
We don't like the mud on the road any better than you. We would love to come to the big city if we could only figure a way to get some attention.
Oh, you can't just bring a small town show into New York, gentlemen. You have to know how to build it up, to create a demand.
We tried. Hand builds everything you do, but it never drew. We thought to make you a partner, if you could teach us the game.
It's not a game. It's common sense. You advertised in my part of town, the old New York who wants lectures with their amusement. You've missed what's right in front of your eyes. You're immigrants, an Irishman, and an Italian. Thousands like you arrive every day by ship from every corner of Europe, and hardly any of them speak English. Don't you see? One needs English to fully appreciate my museum, but lions and tigers and acrobats and trapezes, these need no language to thrill and entertain. You have a captive audience with no competition, but it must be big. It must say to these Catholic Italians and Jewish Poles and Orthodox Russians that they are in America, the biggest and the best place on earth. That's what they came in search of, and that's what we have to give them. And not a small tent like you've used in the past. Oh, no. I see 4 acres of canvas, a tent so big, every paper in town puts it on the front page. That's how we do it. So you see, my dear, I'll be able to stay here in New York. I'll never be far. And you will always be my first concern. I think you've sensed how I'm not dealing well with the idleness. And I think Samuel needs some help. So, unless you object, if there's anything at all that you've heard that troubles you, you need only say so.
Did I tell you Joyce Heth stopped by earlier? She was with Mother.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets in for T
You're a bloody genius. I think I might get to like this circus business once I convert it to my way, the Barnum way. Come, let's measure our audience. I should have been here, Cherry. I loved you so much. My friend who never tried to change me. I could never have found my destiny without you, Cherry. You let me fly. That you gave me roots. I love you still, my darling. Until we meet again, I ask you only to remember that I was the best husband I knew how to be.
full house, PT. Well done.
Almost means no congratulations are appropriate, Greenwood.
Can't ask for too much, PT. I mean, once you bought our Costello, we lost our road manager.
And business improved.
Yes, yes it did. But we can't continue on the road forever.
I don't intend that we do. I intend to go home, to bring the circus with us, permanently.
PT, even in a city the size of New York, a permanent attraction?
Why not? All it needs is some excitement. A personal way to connect the audience.
I'm not really sure this is my calling.
Of course not. That's why you need me. Now, trust me when I say the Europeans do some things well. The Toastmaster announcing people at the door is one of them. It makes things seem very grand, especially in a town like Rockville. Now, did you memorize the speech?
Word for word, and the gestures exactly as you wrote them.
Good. Well then, let's go to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, this is the ring. The magic ring, the fairy ring. The circle as mysterious as Stonehenge itself. In this enchanted ring, great and magical and mysterious events will unfold before your very eyes. And I am your ringmaster. Let the show begin!
What do you think now to a permanent circus in New York?
If you found the right place for the tent.
Prepared for me in London. T Barnum's great Roman Hippodrome.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, welcome to T Barnum's Hippodrome!
You were right, PT. It's a brilliant crowd. And big lines outside.
Yes, but there's something missing. It needs even more if it's to survive.
I secured the best acts in Europe, PT.
I know, old man, I know, but if we're to manage change properly, we need to find tomorrow's best acts. But you did well with what you found.
Thanks, PT.
Now that Coop has decided to sell his interest, we can get the show on the road. I want you to take it out, John. The only competition is Bailey and Cooper's allied shows. Just make sure you book the towns first.
The fact is, PT, I was planning on packing it in, but if you really need me, I do. Then I'll take it out for another season.
Bless you, John. And Sam, you'll run the business from here.
Of course, PT, but your manner. Is something wrong?
Actually, I'm off to Europe. England, to be precise. Perhaps I'll find us the missing element. I'll be looking for new acts, rest assured.
Bon voyage, and good luck. Might as well get as much sleep in my own bed while I still can.
You acts and Nancy Fish?
If you'll have me, there's 40 years between us, you know.
Yes, PT, I do know.
Have you heard from Helen?
No, she's still residing with a good doctor in Denver, I believe.
Yes, I do not approve. However, she is still my daughter.
I understand.
Thank you, son. Am I a fool?
Daddy, I don't know about a fool, but she's younger than me.
Yes, I know she is, but I've learned that youth can be infectious, contagious.
She's 24, you say. There's nothing foolish in admiring a bit of that.
Now listen to you. You stop leering or you know what. Daddy, I don't know what to think.
Well, I do, and it's fine, Daddy. It's normal that you should take a second wife. Only Mama's gone less than a year.
No thing or person could ever replace your mother. And Nancy would be less my second wife than my new companion. Of course, she'd have to accept that, and that's far from sure.
Go and enjoy your time, Daddy. Whatever happens, we'll be here when you return.
Poor Daddy. He thinks there's something in it.
Perhaps there is. He's quite a figure, you know.
Well, to some, but she's already rich, and he's got 40 years on her. I hope she doesn't laugh out loud and hurt his feelings.
Oh, no.
You come.
Thank you for coming.
Of course I'm here, Phineas. And you hardly needed the formality of a written note to invite me.
Perhaps not, but this is a very formal moment, I fear.
Fear? What is there to fear, Phineas?
That one's deepest hopes are an illusion. That is a great fear.
If hopes are dupes, fears may be liars.
Brilliantly said.
Yes. By Arthur Clow, a fine poet. This is unlike you, Phineas. You're a direct man, or to use your own expression, a no-nonsense American.
Yes, true. All right, here it is. There's this thing on my mind. It's a question, in a sense. Also a literal question. Well, they're different questions, actually. It's the second of these that where was I?
Dear Phineas, look at you. If I guess your question correctly, you intend to speak of happiness and serenity, yet so much distress.
There it is. The quality. One of many that make me love you so. Oh, you're a direct person yourself, Nancy Fish, and you deserve nothing less from me. Now, here it is. I'm 40 years older than you.
Only by the calendar.
You most likely end up a widow.
God will decide on that.
I'm a footloose man who gets bored of too long in one place.
We're peas in a pod on that one.
I've got children older than you.
Fortunate there are those who know you so well.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
My lords, ladies, gentlemen.
And children of all ages.
Yes, indeed, them too. Today is a new page in my life. You see before you a reborn man, resurrected by the love of a woman he hardly deserves. May God smile upon her always.
To the bride.
Friends,
There has been something coming for quite some time now, and I've avoided it. Waiting for the right time, I suppose. But I owe my father-in-law at least one public statement. You were right about the war. In the hopes that perhaps this man who was so clever then, and still is now, will follow his life's secret dream, the political arena. I wish it for him if he still yearns for it. I wish him whatever he wishes for himself. Father Barnum. The groom.
Is it true? A politician, is it?
I think it's a grand idea.
You leave my poor father alone. You have enough friends in high places.
Well, you can never have too many of those. Isn't that right, Papa Barnum?
Daddy, may I have this dance?
Yes, it was a tremendous holiday.
We all know that the whole world is asking but one question. Will Phineas Taylor Barnum enter public life? Ask away, Mr. Barnum himself.
Ladies, gentlemen, and children of all ages, I am here to make a fateful decision. I so love my country, I can no longer be mere audience to her public life. Tonight, I tell you, I intend to join the national arena. Tonight, I throw my hat in the ring.
Have we heard from Miss Helen, Jeremiah?
No, ma'am. But these spring rains have closed many of the roads from Denver.
I hoped she'd be here in time for Bridgeport's Barnum Day.
Oh, I expect she will. Helen was always very proud that he ultimately became mayor of their hometown.
And if I may say so, sir, the best mayor we ever had, and an even better state representative.
Yes. Who knows how far he could have gone? Oh. I say Washington almost certainly. If he hadn't lost his taste for it.
Why, Papa P.T.? Why? God's ways are known only to him, Nathan.
God, is it? God killed her at 31? God invented diphtheria? 31 and no warning.
No man or woman may know their final hour. They can only be certain that they are part of God's loving plan. But know that we, Pauline's family, and yours, are always here for you. My daughter Frances, Caroline's wee barren Charity, and now Pauline, bright, happy, determined Pauline. It never seems to end.
It ends when one's life ends, I suppose. But you've worn more mourning black than most.
Death is a certain thing, a good thing, just as much so as life. I trust to God.
You must rest, my sweet man. We shall travel. We will rebuild you.
Tonight, we welcome back from 3 years away America's fabulous showman, Phineas Taylor Barnum. Tonight, death-defying danger, never before seen in America. The royalty of the European aerialists, the Flying Devane.
Well, what do you think?
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You're right, P.T. It did need something more, and you've solved it.
Not quite, old man. The acts are good. And we've expanded to the ceiling, but there's not enough to make people come back again and again. We're still not overwhelming them, are we?
Now, look around us, P.T. Of course we are overwhelming.
Then we must phase them, stun them. Until we do, the circus is incomplete. At least that's my view.
And you're never wrong.
Not on some things. But I have an idea. A way to really make it the greatest show on Earth. Ah, Mr. Bailey.
Barnum.
Mr. Cooper.
Mr. Bailey.
Greenwood.
Cooper.
Cooper. Interesting place to meet, Barnum. I didn't know it was still here.
Oh, some things and people never really go away.
Which, I believe, describes the two of you. I thought you were a great believer in competition.
Oh, correct. But competition that destroys all but one supplier leads to monopoly.
You believe that will happen to one of us?
Inevitably. Both your international allied circus and my greatest show on Earth are hitting the same towns. We compete for the same dollar, the same audience, and sooner or later, one of us will be playing to empty tents, and I have the better acts.
Well, we'll hit every city first, and we'll leave you to pick up the leftovers.
Then I'll work another itinerary. I'll cut through it, Bailey. We need to link up.
You may be right, Barnum, in principle, but we would end up splitting a single gate.
Not if we make the new show so grand that they'll come back more than once.
Well, what, we have a different show every night?
No. Too hard and dangerous to re-rope that many times. No, we give them so much that they can't take it all in one visit. We generate repeat business. We'll more than double our take.
But 2 rings under one canvas?
Not 2. That implies that we've simply combined. We're going to make something bigger than the sum of its parts. The 3-ring circus. If we can agree to the terms, I promise you, I will revive my old conference of the press build-up technique. We'll open at my hippodrome on the square.
Hippodrome? Means Barnum to New Yorkers. They'll forget us.
Then we'll call it Madison Square Garden.
International Allied Shows presents Bailey and Barnum's greatest show on Earth.
Good evening, Doctor. Finn. Phineas. Finn.
Sorry. Just soaking up some winter sun.
I was too long. The facility was crowded.
Come, my darling. The great elephant awaits.
This has been a grand tour, Phineas. One of the best.
Hasn't it, though? I'm not that keen on going home, to tell the truth.
Then perhaps the Italian tour?
I'm afraid not, my dear. Sam wires that the circus receipts are down. I told him not enough grandstanding, but he doesn't seem to understand.
Small wonder. What on earth is grandstanding?
Well, our acts must make gestures and exaggerations grand enough to be noticed in the stand. Hence, grand
for the stands.
Hey, big fellow, what's your name? Did you hear that, my love? He answered me. He talked to me. Come now. You must have a name. All right. I'll do it for you. A new word. You're gigantic. You're magnificent. And you bellow. A gigantic, magnificent bellower. You're a Maybe. You are... No! You're a jumbo! Yes! I must have him. I must.
He closed his eyes again, but he still breathes.
Caroline. Sam. Good to see you. P.T. Caroline is here. P.T.
P.T. P.T. A wire from the London Times. The court ruled in your favor.
Excellent. Excellent. The Court of Queen's Bench today ruled in favor of American P.T. Barnum's purchase of our beloved London elephant. Apparently, sanctity of contract means more to their lordships than proper British patriotism.
I want this in the hand of every editor in every newsroom. Tell them Barnum wins another for America. And now he's an American. He's a jumbo. You do it. This is the build-up they'll always remember me for. Jumbo is forever. Almost 50,000. 50. Thousands of them.
50,000, according to the police.
50! Did you hear that, Nancy?
I never doubted you, Finn.
Of all ages, behold the wonder, Barnum and Bailey's greatest show on earth, featuring Jumbo. And the royalty, the trapeze artist. And all the glory of T Barnum's 3-ring circus.
P.T. It's Helen. Helen, my girl. Glad you came. Good you came. Sam. My Caroline. David. Nathan. Are you all here?
Everyone, my love. All here.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. Pauline sends her love. And Mummy. Nancy. Ask Bailey what the box office was at the Garden last night.